Blender has multiple layers. So on your first layer, you're going to be creating your character. Your layers are here, and you can see that layer 1 is in use. So each one of these is a layer. And if you click on another layer, the object that was on another layer will disappear on a different layer. If you want to see 2 layers at a time, just hold Shift, and then we can see both. For now, I'm just going to turn on layer 1. And I'm going to show you how to use the edit mode to sculpt things. So first of all, I'm going to stay in object mode to create a plane. All right, put that plane right in the middle here. S to scale. And I'll just scale to the size of this grid for now. This will keep things under control if we stay inside this grid. If you go beyond, we start getting issues with the camera being able to see off into the distance. Okay, so just a simple plane. And now I'm going to go over to edit mode. Edit mode will allow you to modify one object at a time. So select the object, the plane, in object mode before you come over to edit mode. Next, I'm going to go to tools, and I'm going to subdivide this. So 3D shapes are made up of vertices. That's these little points in the corners. Edges, so those are the lines that connect the vertices. And faces. So right now we just have one face inside of these edges. I can create more. So if I go to subdivide, which is hiding in here, each time I click on it, I'm getting more edges, faces, and vertices. So something like this is fine. I don't want to go too far, otherwise the computer's going to start to slow down. So this is what edit mode will allow me to do. I can right click on any vertice individually, and then I can manipulate it. So for instance, I can pull it up. Now you may not get this result right away because I already have this feature turned on. So if it wasn't turned on, I'd be just pulling up one vertice on its own. My goal here is to make a landscape. So I do want this proportional editing turned on. So I'll turn it on to connected, and then I'll choose the type of fall off. So there's different kinds. Let's begin with smooth. So if I pull this up now, you can see more vertices are moving along with it. I'm going to undo. It's G to grab. And I want to move along my Z plane, so I'll press Z. So it goes straight up. See the circle? That's defining how many of these vertices are going to move along. So if I roll my mouse wheel, I can add more. Now this thing has these interesting edges on it. Let's try this one called enable. G and then Z. So that's a bit smoother. Then I'm going to change my fall off. Once I've raised this, I want something to look a little bit rockier, so I'll go to random. G and Z. So it's going to look really weird if you go too much, but want a nice rocky looking texture, we'll get that. So if I go over to object mode here for a moment, you'll see what that looks like. I can smooth this out a bit so it looks a little more realistic. Back over in edit mode. So I've only selected one vertice at a time. Maybe that's not what I want. So I'm going to deselect. If I press A, that deselects. If I press A again, it selects all. If you press C on the keyboard, you'll get a paintbrush. You can change the size of the paintbrush by rolling the mouse wheel. And then I'm going to paint. Okay. Now, if I want to erase a portion, if I push down on the mouse wheel, that'll deselect that area. Okay. Then press Escape to get out of the paintbrush. And now we'll go back to a smooth fall off. I'll press G to grab and then Z. So I'm just going along the Z axis. And then I'll roll my mouse wheel up. And I will get what looks like a canyon or riverbed. I also have a little island here as well. So this is a great way to shape a landscape.